Hello everyone, welcome to Facebook Live and the PinkUn Matchday, a new thing we're going to try doing this season. I'm Michael Bailey, we've got Dave Freezer doing expert camera work behind the camera. I hope you can hear us and see us and all those things. It's the first time we've done this and I'm directing it at the same time, so please bear with us. But all being well, this will be a welcome addition to the Matchday routine. And of course, we as a trio, Paddy's here too, will be heading to Craven Cottage. Well done, Dave. Great camera work there. We'll be heading to London ourselves as soon as the coaches leave. Now, as you can see, Dave, show us the coaches. We've got how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coaches, all on their merry way to Craven Cottage. They're leaving about 9:30 is the plan. Can we? I don't know if any of them are going to wave. Wave, people. Can you see the coaches, Dave? Wave. There's a thumbs up. We've got a purple shirt, a grey and black away shirt, of course, and a few home shirts. There's quite a few purple shirts there, anyway. So, yeah, it's a gorgeous, beautiful day for us to head to London. We're going to try and preview what's coming up. Paddy, do you want to come and join me now? Should we do this? Let's do this first
Michael.
before.
This is your world.
I don't know about this world at all, but Paddy, we're off. The season's begun. Well, we're going to begin. Exciting.
And the sun's shining, mate. Yeah, that's not.
You've already told me it's going to rain.
Yeah, supposedly, but in my memory, opening day, 30 degrees. So probably not the day for a jumper. But then again, got to be prepared, haven't you? And hopefully Norwich are prepared. Yeah,
which is the big thing. I mean, have 6 coaches left Norwich ever in more uncertainty to what they're going to get at the other end of it?
I'm sure they have.
We better make sure we don't get run over as well.
Yeah, no.
The engines are fired up, so you might not be able to hear Dave, but he's doing a sterling job. We've only got one mic. So sorry, yeah. How what are we going to get?
Who knows? We've said it last few days of the build-up that this is a journey into the unknown. Journey here, journey into the unknown in terms of the season. New coach, new backroom team, don't know anything about English football in terms of their previous career postings. A lot of new players, a lot of players gone out. I think Dave was telling me yesterday they're approaching 30 in/outs, which is a phenomenal turnover. Not all first team, obviously, but the majority were. And added to that, too many injuries to a thin squad, so it's all against them today. But as the manager or the head coach has continued to say all through summer, I need togetherness, I need a group who can fight adversity and fight the tough situations. They're in one today, because added to that, finally, Fulham, playoff contenders last season, very good side. Farker thinks they're going to be right up there, so the tariff is pretty high today.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm going to do, if this works, is just show you guys what I reckon the starting lineup's going to be this afternoon, and I'll hopefully show Paddy. That's up on the screen now too. They might not be able to see it, Pad, but we've got Angus, then a back three if fit, Russell Martin, Christoph Zimmerman, Marcel Franke, then a 5 across the middle of Wildschut, Madison, Reed, Vrancic, husband with Watkins and Jerome up top. I mean, Madison is probably the one where we're...
Yeah. I think we had a discussion about this, didn't we, on Facebook yesterday. I think one of the posters asked us for the 11, and I basically said it'd be 10 plus Madison/Tete, and that'd be purely how Farker sees it, whether he thinks he can get away with another technician. No disrespect to Alex Tete, but I don't think anybody's ever called him a technician. Or you want a ball winner, a Tigris sort of presence in the centre of the park. But other than that, given what we know, who's available, who's not, I think that's looking pretty close to the 11. I think, mate.
We'd probably be quite hopeful if we have Evo, Josh Murphy, and Wes Houlihan all on the bench.
Yeah, that would give you a little bit of optimism, but it sounds like they're only, certainly Evo and Wes, you're only probably talking their limited action if needed. So I don't think in an ideal world he'd want to have to throw them in, but if it was a 20-25 minute burst, hopefully they'll be able to do it. So that's positive. But as I say, today it's a bit of a suck it and see, isn't it? So I think moving forward, that's obviously going to change, because clearly Pinto, I think, would come back into the reckoning. Yeah,
it's a long old season, isn't it? I reckon we've got about 3 minutes until the coaches leave, which we're clearly bigging up as some major event that actually happens 23 times every season. So there we go. In terms of, I think Daniel Farke and Stuart Webber have actually both done some Webber, haven't they? Some media ahead of this afternoon's game. How do you think they're going to be feeling, without asking you to second guess them? Because I guess Daniel Farke seemed quite confident in his pre-match presser, and with Stuart, there's a lot riding on it for him as well.
There is. I mean, this is now firmly a Stuart Webber operation. He made it quite clear Farke was his number one. Sounds like we might be about to leave.
There is one leaving. Dave's on it. Look at Dave. Sterling cameraman work.
Good lad.
Are you enjoying this, Dave?
Oh yeah, this is what I went through university for, to hold an iPhone.
I think he's enjoying it, Pad. I'm not entirely sure. Well, yeah, there we go. One's gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's, as I say, it's the first proper day. I mean, pre-season was pre-season. You don't place any store by those results, but there was some positive signs. But I think we'll get a better idea today, and then moving forward the next sort of first month, 2 months. But it's certainly fresh. It's certainly new. And if we'd have, had a straw poll of all these fans here on these coaches, I think they wanted that. I think they wanted some change. And then it's the degree of change. Do you just tinker around the edges, or do you go wholesale? And they've certainly gone the latter route. So it's positive. It's a new season. It's new beginnings. So let's give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance. Exactly. I mean, looking at that starting 11 as well. Not many of them were here last season, were they? I mean, it's going to be a completely new ship. I feel like we need to just hang on and see the coaches leave. Are you happy with that, Pat?
Yeah, why not? You're in control, man.
Yeah, I am. Well, what else should we talk about? Who are you looking forward to seeing play then? Because we've seen a lot of them play in pre-season. I had this chat with you on the PinkUn podcast. Yeah. Just go to pinkun.com. It's literally all there. But about Marley Watkins, I'm curious to know what Marley Watkins is going to bring, because a lot of people are very positive about him. But who are you looking forward to seeing?
Yeah, he's certainly one, because he fits the template. What is Webber and Farker want? They want younger, because they made it quite clear they wanted to lower the age profile of the squad. Hungry, good characters. And he fits, and he completely ticks that box, because he's a guy whose career is on the upward trajectory. He's got a bit of ability. We saw that with a goal against Brighton the other day. Unbelievable strike. And he options. He can play down the middle. He can play wide. So him and Harrison Reed for me. If Harrison Reed can establish himself in the Championship and deliver what we think he can deliver, Norwich will have a good season, because he is pivotal to what they want to do.
Yep, spot on. The coaches are firing up. It's like a Formula One grid up here. I don't know who's your money on which coach is going to win, Dave.
You need to be like Martin Brundle here, don't you? You go on a pit walk.
The tyres look shocking. That's a joke, by the way.
Well, these Sanders coaches, they're made of special stuff, so they'll all be there in no time.
Yeah. Usually, Paddy, how it works is coach one gets there first, isn't it?
There we go. We're off. Yeah, I think there's a pecking order here, definitely, and there'll be no overtaking of coach one in my experience.
Paddy, did you ever think your football journalistic career would take you to commentating on coaches leaving a car park?
New ground for us all, mate. New ground for us all this season, yeah.
So, Dave, some of them are waving. Give us a wave. You're live on Facebook. Look at those guys. 2-1. 2-1 predict. Win. I think that was a 2-1 win prediction. Dave, do you want to give us a prediction?
Prediction. I'm going to go with 1-1, and I'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, I think we'd take a point, wouldn't you, Pat?
Oh, I'd definitely take a positive result in any form, but I fear it might be just too much for them for all the reasons already discussed, mate. Yeah. 2-1 defeat.
I think we've both, me and you have both predicted defeats today. But a dose of realism is useful, especially given, of course, how last season began. 4-1 at Blackburn. That was probably the highlight away from Carrow Road last season. There goes the last coach. Give us a wave. Yes, mate. We've got some waves on their way to Craven Cottage. These Norwich City fans know no bounds. Right, I think we've probably had enough of my voice, at least for the time being. Hopefully, by the wonders of my iPad, I'm going to play you some Daniel Farker and Angus Gunn from the pre-match press conference on Thursday. Here you go.
Those last 15 minutes before the team goes out, what will you be doing? Will you be riling them? Will you be rounding them up? Will you be cool, calm, collected?
I think it's important to be not so predictable, so it differs a little bit. Normally I don't like to be there with, I had trainers or coaches who were there with a knife and cut something and said, you have to be sharp like this knife or whatever. So to be honest, sometimes this stuff is not so it's not so bad. So I like it to be emotional and to be there with passions, but I think you don't have to be too ridiculous. So I think normally you concentrate on the main content, the main topic, and try to remind the players on that. But for sure, so you have to reach their hearts too. So not only the heads, so to reach their hearts too. And sometimes you do it in a little bit emotional way, but sometimes you calm it a little bit down. So I think the first game. They will be nervous, they will be highly motivated, so probably you have to calm it down a little bit so that they're not too nervous in the first game, but it's a little bit of spontaneous reaction, and you have to feel a little bit what they need, and hopefully you find the right solution.
Brilliant. Save the knife for a few weeks' time, maybe.
Perhaps, thanks.
Yeah, of course you've got to stay calm under pressure and stuff like that, but ultimately it's, as well, if teams are really coming for us, then the manager's not telling us to keep playing. He obviously he knows that it's not possible all the time. So you've got to have other options, other ways of playing as well. So we've got plenty of strikers that can hold the ball up and stuff like that. So it's not we're not going to be one dimensional this season, just playing out from the back. There's going to be different options that we can use.
I'm very content with the preseason because the guys were really open-minded and worked really hard and tried to get very quickly get used to the ideas and to the philosophies. And to be honest, it's not only perfect when you have such a good preseason, because sometimes when there's a loss or a better or a worse performance, sometimes it means that all the guys are awake for the first team, so for the first game. So sometimes it's good to have a setback during the preseason. We didn't have, to be honest, but I think the guys are experienced enough to handle it, and I think I really enjoyed the preseason. To be honest, it was for sure, as a not being a native speaker, a hard time too. So a lot of work, and because all the guys had to get used to the new ideas when you're together with a group of staff and a group of players for a longer term, then just the new lads have to get used to it. So for that, it was a hard working time, but I really enjoyed it. And thank God the preseason's over and now the real stuff starts. So.
Even just these pre-season games have been great for me, just to sort of get into the side and play some games. But of course, you can't really replicate much competition in the Championship. So the first couple of games might be a bit different from my point of view. But I'm sure I'll be more than capable of dealing with the first few games, and then after that, I think hopefully it'll be pretty comfortable and a good season.
Yeah, sadly there is this situation with a lot of injuries, so it's unrealistic, but we don't play football just...
There we go, Paddy doing some fine camera work there. We thought we'd give Dave a rest from his sterling job as a cameraman. Get in the gym.
The arm strength.
It's pre-season. We missed pre-season, Dave, for all that. Apologies for the abrupt ending on the last video. Apparently the iPad just clicked in, and now we know. So hopefully that won't happen. But you heard the gist of Daniel Farker and Angus Gunn on the other feed on Facebook Live PinkUn page. So give that a like if you want. fb.me/thepinkun, and of course PinkUn.com for all the build-up ahead of Craven Cottage. Dave, I'll give you a chance to talk properly now. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it feels a bit different to the last few times. I mean, less pressure on this one because of, like you guys are talking about, the amount of changes that they've been through, that most people I would imagine would take a draw. But, Chris Hughton's first game there, that was, people were expecting it to be fairly smooth because he was taking on a Paul Lambert side that had finished 12th in the Premier League, and then it was a bit of a disaster. Michael Turner had his nightmare. Neil Adams' first game, Neil had his back against the wall really. If he'd achieved anything, it would have been a real achievement. But I was in the away end for that game, and I remember the reception that the fans gave Neil, and Neil gave it the old fist pump and stuff as he came onto the pitch, and that was a great atmosphere. And then last season, if they were going to break the hoodoo, 30 years plus, that was the year they were going to do it. 2-0 up, top of the table at half time, and they still messed it up. So all that stuff doesn't really matter this time. No pressure on the hoodoo and all that rubbish. You can just anything positive out of today, kick on from there.
We spoke to Steve Lillis on the PinkUn show during the week, and he said Norwich were the best side he'd seen in that first half at Craven Cottage, and then obviously capitulated, which is kind of synonymous with last season. But we're not talking about last season anymore, Dave. It's going to be all about this season. We better get going because, of course, the coaches have all left. But who are you most looking forward to seeing this afternoon at Craven Cottage?
Mario Vrancic probably. I'm interested to see how he kicks on. He's my sort of early tip to be up there for the Player of the Season because I think
that's the first mention of Player of the Season right there. Well done, Dave.
I like the look of him, but possibly today, if Christoph Zimmermann's going to be playing, then maybe him, because it's going to be interesting to see how quickly he can pick up speed at this level.
Brilliant work. Right, well, we better get going, haven't we? Thanks very much, Pad, doing a sterling job on the cameras there, and Dave, who did that as well. Thank you for bearing with us. We only had the one technical glitch, which I think was pretty good going, really, wasn't it? Now, PinkUn.com. all throughout the day. We've got a live blog running. We'll all be tweeting ourselves. We've got live full text coverage of the game. We'll have videos afterwards, of course, giving our reaction, and hopefully some of the reaction from Daniel Farker and co as well. It's the only place to follow this Norwich City season throughout, and of course starting at Craven Cottage this afternoon. And we better get going because I think we all need a coffee. So you know where to follow us, and we'll see you there. And I'll leave you with this. Until then, have a great day and keep your fingers crossed for City at Craven Cottage.